This thing's gonna be the death of me.
Ravens. About 2 minutes left, they punted it. So they're
Probably seems there's
all the way down.
sixth grader in the tag.
Well, Nick's gonna help us. He's pretty good with technology, but
I just know anytime I'm struggling with. Probably seems there's always some sixth grader in the tag.
well, Nick's gonna help us. He's pretty good with technology, but
I just know anytime I'm.
would you give us the reading of the mission and vision statement?
Yes. The mission of the Charles City Community School District is to challenge all students to
Would you
achieve
give
their
us
full.
the reading of the mission and vision statement?
Can you hear me? The mission of the Charles City Community School District is to challenge all students to
Would you
achieve
give
their
us
full.
the reading of the mission and vision statement? Okay,
Can you hear me?
sorry.
The mission of the Charles City Community School District is to challenge all students to achieve.
Sorry.
Challenge all students to achieve their full potential through engaging, responsive educational experiences that inspire innovation, critical thinking, collaboration. Our vision to develop learners who are competent and passionate problem solvers.
Thank you. Take motions for approval or amendment of the agenda, please.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. We'll go on to the welcome of visitors. And do we have any public comment? Seeing none, we can move on to the good news report. I believe those two ladies.
Okay, hello, thank you, good evening. I just wanted to give you guys a quick fall sports preview update. Talking about some of our numbers and the kiddos that are out for athletics. In football, high school football, we have 55 kids in the program, volleyball 29. Boys cross country 18, girls cross country 9. Cheer has 14 and tennis has 7. Tennis moved from the spring to the fall by the state. So we have over 30% of our high school student body that is involved in athletics. At the middle school, we have 47 kiddos in football, 40 in volleyball, 8 in boys cross country and 8 in girls cross country. We're 52% of our students are involved in athletics this fall at the middle school. So I think that's a pretty awesome involvement. So far we posted 2 successful cross-country meets and seen some of you guys there, and a volleyball triangular with Independence and Vinton Shellsburg. Our football team has gone 2-0, and according to Jeremy's research, they did win by the largest margin of victory in over 20 years, their first game, so that was awesome. We've been very thankful for Steve Hansen and all of his work. You've heard him announce for years. He and Shelley decided to kind of like formally retire from the announcement gig. So you'll be hearing more of Luke Anderson. He is doing amazing. If there's little glitches or mistakes, please give him some grace. This is his first year doing this and he's young. All of the future forward information has been at each event, somewhere along the admissions table, whether people want to pick it up or not, along with any booster club information to get involved with that. Our band performed at halftime of the first football game and will again this week and next week, so that'll be exciting. Homecoming is September 19th. The theme is painted black. Our pep rally is open to the public in Comet Gym, and it starts at 1:30 with the parade downtown to follow. Everybody's kind of like laughing and giggling behind me. Our homecoming court, congratulations to them, is Jocelyn Borman, Maya Economata, Ella Rushka, Evelyn Mayhew, Addison Vance, Sawyer Hanson, Quinn McCarty, Holden McEnroy, Jesus Villagomez, and Victor Ward. So we got a lot of cool things coming up in the next 2 weeks. I brought 3 members of our Student Athlete Advisory Committee to introduce you to one of our newest comments.
We were able to purchase the mascot through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee and raise 100% of the funds on our own. The costume cost over $8,000, and that was one of the cheaper ones based on the quality. We raised $1,053 in online popcorn sales. The Comet Booster Club donated $3,600, and Zoetis donated $3,600 toward the costume after we presented their award. Zoetis also gave another $1,400 for the football tunnel for a total of $5,000 donated by Zoetis.
This version of the mascot currently does not have a name. Some people want us to keep Charlie, but others want a new name like Cosmo, Cece, Chaz, Chuck, Sparky, Rocket, Blaze, and even Zoe. We will be deciding when our Student Athletic Advisory Committee meetings start up soon.
We have had some fun with this mascot already. Oh, you're supposed to.
On camera, we gotta get you on camera. There you go.
We've had some fun. We have a student who has a very dedicated student who is willing to do this at different Comet events. Super excited. This student, who I can't say the name, because I just want it to be a surprise for everybody, has been going to cheer practices and things like that. One of the biggest things that the Iowa High School Athletic Association says is that a mascot actually has to be on the cheer squad. And that helps with like that person came up to my office, they take the concussion test just in case they, fall over. It's a little lopsided. Sometimes it's a little heavy. But they have to go through all the requirements of a regular student athlete. As Brinley mentioned, there's been a little controversy on Facebook over the name of this. I don't know if it should be fella or gal. I guess it doesn't really matter. So once we get these students back together, we will be deciding on that. I feel it's their priority or their privilege to name it. Like they said, they raised over $1,000 in online popcorn sales. They went out to Zoetis and received money there by giving a presentation and then got the rest from the Booster Club. So I feel they deserve that, the naming rights, I guess. We'll see. And that's what I have for you guys tonight. Any questions on who's in there? Any questions for these ladies? I mean, they honestly they worked hard. They did all the money raising piece. They went and presented at Zoetis with a couple other people, so they're super dedicated and we love it.
Very cool.
I have one question. It's pseudo related to this, but are you guys doing window painting this year for homecoming?
So the high school does.
Okay.
And
They're all
these
cool.
3 are 8th graders, but that is something that Mr. Taylor and I are putting together for homecoming week because the high school does that. And we just feel like it'd be really nice to have some sort of spirit activities. Not to get too much in the weeds, but 8th graders get to take exploratory classes at high school. And with those teachers being busy, we'd love to bring those spirit day things down to them.
So I know this again is kind of down that vein. Is there a way that if businesses want to have that done, who would do this?
Yep, Sarah Down. I mean, You can obviously reach out to myself or just activities@charlestonschools.org and then I'll pass it on to her. But if you know Sarah, definitely reach out to Sarah down there. These ladies are so involved, we are now off to an FFA meeting, so I'm sorry, but we are going to leave because I think they need to be involved in that.
Enjoy the ice cream.
Ice cream at 6, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
You hit his head.
Good. We can now take a motion on the order of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. We now move on to Administrative Director and Superintendent report.
All right. Give me just multiple screens going here today. All right. Oops. It's been a great start to the fall. Had the opportunity to visit all classrooms in all buildings. The district has excellent classroom ratios with small class sizes abundant across the district. This Wednesday, the FEH team will be meeting with various bond campaign committees. Matt Basie will be available at the facilities meeting this week to answer questions and provide updates. Last week, I met with the PR committee, the steering committee, and the chair people for the canvassing and get out the vote committees. We have a great dynamic group of volunteers working to share the board's plan with the community. Tomorrow at 11, Jim Lumberg and I will be sharing information at the community center, and so that should be a fun time. And then on October 8th and October 22nd, FEH will be hosting a community-wide events evenings starting at 6:30 to present information. Also wanted to give a shout out to Chris Hall, the owner of the Charles City Press. He really gave us an excellent rate on the production of the informational brochure and then also mailing it to residents. We got a great rate on that. I had been working with the AEA, but Chris saved us several $1,000s working with him and getting a great deal. So I appreciate his help on that. Wanted to remind the board that the annual school board convention, people are registering already. And if you'd like us to reserve rooms, please let us know. The delegate assembly and pre-conference workshop is the 19th. November 20th would be the board convention and trade show. And they always have some nice sessions on poverty. They also have a great speaker, Thomas Murray, who talks about kind of technology and communication and education. He does a nice job. He's part of the nationwide Future Ready schools system. So I've had a chance to hear him several times. So does a great job. And then on the 21st is the board president's workshop. So if anybody's interested in going, let myself or Heather know, and we'll make sure we reserve rooms. If you want to run down for one day, currently my plan is to go down on the 20th, so we could certainly carpool if that works for anybody. So that's my report.
Board committee reports.
A policy. And it really was just a lot of annual renewals of policies. So there are 19 policies up for annual renewal. There were no recommended changes. And with the school audit, having meetings once a month, I had to backwards map since the school audit is due before our December meeting. It's important that we, have it on this meeting so we can have it approved in time for submission in November for the audit. So I appreciate the policy committee coming together to quickly help me get those approved. There were no recommendations from IASB for any new policies. This is just annual ones that need to be renewed. So.
Now move on to new business action items. Engagement agreement to join multi-district litigation against Power.
So what has happened with Power School is they were breached last year. And so student data and information and if you had faculty information in those, all that was breached nationwide. So every school district in the country that had PowerSchool was subject to a breach. And so our attorneys with Allers Law Firm are partnering with a law firm out of California, France Law Group. And they are looking at doing a mass action lawsuit. And there's currently 23 larger lawsuits pending against PowerSchool right now. Many of those are class action lawsuits. And the difference between the class and the class will come up with some kind of formula where you might get a compensation based on students. Our attorney, or well, the attorney with Allers, and I listened to the presentation from the France Law Group. They believe that this would be we'd have a much better chance of getting a settlement that would be more significant and beneficial to the district. Also, they're asking for between $500,000 and $1 million per district to migrate to a new student information system because they don't believe PowerSchool has fixed some of the inherent problems that cause this. And so with the mass action lawsuit, they actually try 5 cases in front of a judge, and then those 5 cases will represent everybody in that group. And that's the template for then reimbursement. And with a class action, it's different. It's just going to be a formula based on students or the size of your district. And they believe both our attorneys at Allers and this France Law Group, they believe the mass action is in the best interest of a district. If you do not join a mass action or opt out of a class action notice, or if you have somehow missed a chance to opt out of a class action, you're automatically in a class. So that's why they recommended that if we are interested in joining the mass action, we do it sooner than later, because they think PowerSchool will certainly put some significant money towards settling. They were purchased last October before this breach happened by Bain Capital. And the attorney working with our normal attorneys mentioned that Bain then cut some employees, a significant number of employees with PowerSchool, and they farmed data to a company in Texas that then sold the data processing overseas, which is a breach of our contract with PowerSchool and everyone's contract with PowerSchool around the country. So they think we have we're in a great place for mass action. Any questions?
Can I say?
Oh, yes, yes.
I mentioned the 5 places that they try, so they put everybody into one of those 5 buckets, so everybody
Right.
has like a pseudo case, like your breach was most like this one, and then that's how they process it, so they don't just randomly pick 5, they have 5 that kind of fall within what everybody would fall within.
Right.
And so to make it really easy, so there's a pretty significant opportunity for us to get through that much quicker. And then there's also a big process going on right now at the state level where they're talking about a statewide system for student management. So the PowerSchool is on the list, right? Which obviously is something that we
Right.
should be concerned about, because if the state is looking at doing statewide something, or either they're paying for it or they're going to say this is the one you have to do, we definitely want to push back if PowerSchool is going to be the one that's selected because of this situation, right? Obviously, we don't want to go working with someone who's already got challenges, right?
And I did share that with the director of the Department of Education at the superintendent's meeting, Director Snow. And I mentioned to her that PowerSchool currently has 23 lawsuits, and many of us in the room will be joining other lawsuits. And so she was going to make sure they took that back to their process, but
How do they take that?
I don't know. I don't know how they take it back to Des Moines, but I did share that with her personally, so. Then one other thing I think that was really relevant, the class action doesn't indemnify individual suits, and that's what the attorney with the mass action is looking to do to prevent students when they turn 18, even so for the next 13 years, those students that were part of that group that may have had their data breached. The mass action would give us some indemnity or protection from those kind of lawsuits. And as part of that, and the class action, our attorney and the attorney with this France group, they don't believe that would have any of those protections. Because right now, a student, when upon their 18th birthday, if they were a victim of this data breach, could then turn around and issue their own lawsuit. So for the next 13 years. So.
Those are the
So-
interesting stuff.
I think so. I think it's in our interest to join with this mass action and, yeah,
Settle.
right.
So it's hard, here's what districts can be given for safeguard measures between now and forever.
So they were breached, so it wasn't anything we did, but we.
No,
gave
but I'm
them-
saying like-
Yeah.
Like, Power School is like, we've implemented this additional security.
I don't think they come and said anything.
No, I think they're in such a legal quandary by saying, here's some steps they took to rectify things. I think they might be admitting, so I think their attorneys have clamped down on them sharing very much at all. I mean, I think with the number of schools they have around the country, this could be very significant for their company. But Bain Capital is a giant company that owns them now. They own 90% of Power School. This Bain,
Limit the amount of information you put into their system.
unfortunately, all the SIS collect, that directory information and gradebook information and those kind of things. And so it's really hard to, work in a modern setting with grade books and student information systems and
Visual name, grade, address.
well, but they encompass even more than that. I mean, I think our grade book is linked in there and the reporting is linked into Power School and yeah, and depending on there could be for staff if it was part, I don't know what package we had at that point in time, what we were doing with staff information. I don't think we were using staff for that. So
Dates and
And s-
X's and.
yeah, and students, we don't normally enter their social securities because we're not allowed to ask for that. So I'm entertaining a motion. Yes, entertaining a motion.
Francois is to join the multi-district litigation against Power.
I second it.
And properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Aye.
All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. Now move on to board policy.
So these are the 19 policies that are updated annually. And so there's no recommended changes, but items like the long-range needs assessment and then the administrative regulations that go with those, parent and family engagement, educational records, and then there's a whole bunch under educational records. So for example, if requests come from for hearing or correction of educational records, access notification of educational records, juvenile justice requesting records, student directory information. So there's just a series of related under the 506 category policies, which makes it, there's only really a few that are changing, but with all these sub policies, administrative regulations and exhibits, which are forms that people can then fill out in these cases, that makes it 19 policies in total, and they're just annually updated every year. So.
Motion to approve the policies as presented.
And properly moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. Now move on to board comments.
We haven't had a board meeting since the first football game, but it was a really good game to watch. There was lots of fun stuff going on. And then I've been to both cross country meets. There were a lot of people there. It was great to watch all the kids run. The first one, we did have one student, not necessarily from Charles City, who was having a rough time. He was running and throwing up as he was playing a lot of work. Like, boy, that's got to be tough to do. So I really felt for that young man. But we didn't see that in the second time. So I think they worked through all of that. Which was but it was great. I see.
Any other comments? Lots of big activities going on. Out and check it out. I'll take a motion for adjournment. Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. How are you guys?
Thanks, David. Sorry for the technical glitch.
Thank you. Yeah, I could hear you very well, but none of the other microphones seem to work well.
See, it echoes. Yeah, it's picking up an echo again. Shoot.
Oh.
All right, I'll get April and the team on it. Thank you.